Welcome to 2K Sports. We've got NBA basketball for you. I'm Damon Bruce. Monday Hoops coming up. It's the Boston Celtics going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And now let's toss it over to Kevin Harlan with the rest of the 2K crew. I'll catch you at the break.
Quick check now at the starting lineups for both teams. First for the Celtics. Backcourt of Rondo and Bradley. And it's Kelly Olynyk out of Gonzaga, a 7-footer with inside-outside offensive skills in the middle at center. What a tremendous talent, getting ready for his NBA appearance. Then there's Green, and it's Bass in at the 4 spot. And for Oklahoma City, backcourt is Westbrook and Cephalosha. And in the paint, holding down the pivot, a physical and cruising big man at 6'10", Big Kendrick Perkins. And it's Durant, and it's Ibaka into the 4-man position.
You know, Avery Bradley missed the first 3 months of last season after undergoing surgery on both shoulders, fella. I mean, when Rondo went down with his ACL tear, Bradley stepped into the starting point guard role, and I thought performed very well.
And so it's the Thunder getting on the board first. Bass with a screen for Rondo. Bradley kicks to Rondo. And it's blocked by Perkins. But they recover it. Here's Bass. Can't get it to go. Excellent D there from Perkins. And now here's Durant, the fast break opportunity. From the arc. It's rebounded by Olynyk. And for Bradley, a tremendous defender, and Steve able to defend either the 1 or the 2.
Well, he's listed at 6'2", but he has incredibly long arms and quick feet. So he's strong enough to guard bigger players, but his best attribute is putting pressure on the ball. It's a nightmare just trying to bring the ball up the floor against Bradley.
One of the best on-ball defenders, wouldn't you say, in the NBA?
Yeah, no doubt.
Whoa! How about that basketball, man? Wow. Reverse that one. Oh, now that was nice. Real nice.
The agility on display.
Yeah, you love that. Body control. Ooh.
Oh, that one had it all, guys. Power and grace. Just beautiful.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Kevin, here's what the Celtics head coach had to say when we spoke just a few minutes ago. We talked about their strategy on how to contain Russell Westbrook, and he told me that Russell's at his best in the open floor. To counteract that, they'll try to make sure they get back on defense in a hurry and limit his chances to get out in transition and start setting up his teammates or throwing down dunks. Neither is a good option for them.
Thank you, Doris.
Hey, we all know how hard it was for the Thunder going into last season to trade away their 6-man star, James Harden, but it was something that had to be done. They really missed his playmaking ability, though, and I think they missed him in the locker room, too.
Now, here's Green. Just 4 to shoot. And stolen by Perkins. Ibaka, the pass to Cephalosha. Kicks to Westbrook. From 17 feet out. No good. Bradley with some nice D. And for the Thunder, a financial decision to trade away Harden. They've already tied up Steve money in big contracts to Durant and to Westbrook, Ibaka, and Perkins.
And Kevin, I think a lot of people questioned why they didn't keep Harden and maybe move Ibaka or Perkins. I think Perkins would have been maybe the best option, but he's really looked at as their best post defender and a guy who brings leadership and toughness. So it was a very difficult decision, but there's no doubt this team missed James Harden.
Celtics trail by 4. Bass dishes to Rondo. Feeds it to Olynyk. Rejected by Escabusa. Durant kicks to Ibaka. Oklahoma City moving it around. That's good. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Thunder.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And we're also seeing a lot of fast break hoops, so this team doing a nice job getting easy points.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Westbrook passes to Escabusa. And Boston with the rebound. And now it's Bradley running. He can go all the way. Oh!
Hammer time! Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented. For plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that long.
Yeah, he did,
yeah,
didn't he?
It was a great dunk and also a great game we've got here.
Here's Westbrook. Following the bucket by the Celtics. Deflects the pass. It's stolen by Bradley. He dishes it to Olynyk. Back to Bradley. He passes to Rondo. Clock at 6. And there's the feed to Olynyk. Perkins with the block. And he gets it back. The game now all time. Olynyk's got his first 2 points of the night.
Good glass work there. Rebounds have been a little tough to come by for them in this quarter.
Well, it looks to me like they're still finding their way out there, but it is early.
And first timer of the game called for Oklahoma City. So Boston ends up going with the new group. For Oklahoma City, they've gotten just 3 of their first 9 shots to go down in this game.
Kelly Olynyk out of Gonzaga, originally from Canada, spent his teens in British Columbia. About a 7-hour drive from the Zags campus in Spokane.
Now Rondo, after the miss 3 from Jackson. And it's Rondo penetrating. Passes to Humphries. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo.
Well, he recognized the advantage size-wise, and he went right at the defender. That's how you do it.
And back to Olynyk, probably the most efficient player in college basketball last season. But Clark, questions lingered about the level of competition in the West Coast Conference.
Well, I think it'll be an adjustment dealing with the NBA size and strength, no matter what level of competition he played in college. But I think he'll still have a way of separating himself because he's highly skilled. You knew that at some point the window for the group of Celtics that had won a title was going to close. I mean, it was inevitable. But last year seemed like they were going to go for one last hurrah as they added some depth and looked to reload for another run.
And getting back to the Celtics and Rondo's injury, a lot of people expected them to start the rebuilding process. Ended up standing pat at the deadline, Steve. Even though there was, it seemed a lot of interest.
You know, you want to give that group, KG and Pierce and Rondo, you want to give them another run. And they had their last hurrah. They didn't get it finished. And now you start the rebuilding project. So a lot of trades, a lot of movement over the summer. But I like the fact that they gave that club one more run.
The Thunder with another miss.
Gotta like the defense not quitting on the play and getting a hand in the face.
Sure do. With a tough defender breathing down your neck, that makes it not an easy shot.
Now here's Wallace. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Lee dishes to Wallace. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Now, you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out in the perimeter, make them beat you from long range. Boy, that was impressive. Major height disadvantage, but he still got the shot up over his man.
Well, he's got the poise to handle any matchup, and he's not easily intimidated. You can see that there.
Here's Rondo. Pass to Humphries. And the shot is good. Humphries has got his third basket of the night right there.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
Well, it's become one of the stories of the first half, just piling up points in the paint.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. And we'll be back. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Boston.
And right from the start, guys, it's apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
Working on Collison. 9 feet out. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Gentlemen, as you know, Kevin Durant is a real gym rat, a guy who just loves the game of basketball, and he enjoys studying the greats. Maybe his favorite? Durant's smile. Larry Bird's a guy I like watching. I watch film on him all the time. I like his approach to the game, his competitiveness, how low maintenance he was. He played hard. He played for the love of the game, and that's what I've got. Guy's one of the best small forwards in league history. Not a bad role model.
No doubt about that. Thank you, Doris. Tries to keep it alive. And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. And some changes here for the Celtics. Olynyk, he's checked in for Jared Sullinger. Bass comes in for Chris Humphries. And it's Green in for Gerald Wallace. And Olynyk kicks to Bradley. He feeds it to Olynyk. Inside Leaner. And that's good off the glass that time. Olynyk's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Celtics. Thunder trailing by 6. For 3, Westbrook. Rebounded by the Celtics. Bass has got 4 rebounds in this game.
A bit of a down season, guys, for Brandon Bass on this past season. His numbers were down pretty much across the board. At 28 years old, he should be in his prime. We'll see how he bounces back this season.
Kendrick Perkins, he's checked in for Hasheem Thabeet. We're about a minute into the second quarter now. Olynyk the pass to Green. And he converts the layup. And now it's an 8-point Celtic lead. And Bass, Steve, a face-up 4. He likes to play in the high post.
Yeah, he likes to kind of face up and either hit that mid-range jumper or drive around you. But I think the best improvement from Bass came at the defensive end of the floor. Doc Rivers really showing praise last year during the playoffs for Bass's defensive improvement.
Not many teams, guys, in the East did very well against the West last season. And that in mind, you could call Boston's 14-16 record against the conference better than most.
Bradley gets a screen from Olynyk. Here's Lee. The shot is off. Some solid D from Cephalosha. It's Durant with the drive, and he jams it with authority.
Boy, that's such a beautiful move, Kevin. Why go straight up when you can throw down the reverse?
That one's going to have its share of time on the highlight reel for sure.
It should. I'd be shocked if we see anything better than that one tonight.
Here's Bradley. And for the Celtics against the West, even in the shortened season, they were having a lot of trouble with some of the bigger lineups, Steve. More of the up-tempo teams out west.
Well, the Celtics were old and a little bit small, too. Kevin Garnett played center last year, so they played a lot of small lineups. And when you're small and you're old, sometimes, you know, that's going to cost you, particularly on the road. That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Here's Olynyk. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Olynyk's got 6 in the quarter.
These defenders look overmatched right now, especially inside.
Yeah, you look at the numbers, 10 of the last 12 points have come from close range, so I agree.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
You know, with the recent success of Oklahoma City, you forget that in Kevin Durant's first season, they started out going 3-29. And I tell you what, you talk about their success, it's due to the resilience and perseverance and leadership of Kevin Durant and the rest of those guys.
Ibaka dishes to Westbrook.
And Westbrook is so dynamic offensively. Guys, his ability to score in transition may be unmatched in this league. And I still think he has potential to be even better defensively. So incredible how good this guy could be.
Yeah, he has the quickness and speed to dart in and break up a play, whether it's picking off a pass or just taking it out of your hands.
They get a hand on it. And the Thunder pushing it up now. Here's Ibaka.
Boy, with 2 fouls now, he really has to be disciplined and under control for the rest of this half.
For Oklahoma City, they have been good at the line so far, 5 of 5.
Well, one of the highest season, this team shot the ball extremely well from the stripe. Huge factor.
And you know, a lot of times, guys, in some of their performances last year, their free throw numbers helped them win games.
Good on both. Bradley with the ball. And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Kevin, the Thunder are often seen as getting into one another during games in what looks like heated arguments. But that is the culture they want, as every player can hold each other accountable. Coach Scott Brooks describes it saying, "I'm with them every day. Did they have some competitive moments? Absolutely. But that's how we challenge each other. It gets chippy. You can't argue with the results, even if it looks like they are always at each other's throats, guys."
I believe it. Those must make for some good battles, Doris. Thanks. He kicks it to Lee. This is to Olynyk. Perkins on him. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
And you can hear the reaction of the fans to that call.
Well, it's obvious they did not like it, Steve.
Kelly Olynyk, a 7-foot junior, actually spent 4 years at Gonzaga. Well, couldn't crack the rotation early on, so he redshirted during his junior year. And boy, did that pay off. Had a fantastic final year at Gonzaga and a very skilled big man who has a chance to be pretty good.
Ball's knocked loose. That'll be Boston as it goes out of bounds. Celtics retain possession. There's a minute 47 left to play here in the second quarter. And Olynyk, a tremendous skill level for a 7-footer. Actually played point guard for much of his high school career before that dramatic growth spurt around his junior season in high school club.
Kevin, the growth spurt was 7 inches in 1 year, and I think that's part of why he needed that redshirt year at Gonzaga. You think about it, the way he improved his upside is pretty impressive. You know, it wasn't that the Thunder were beating teams last season. Everybody expected that, but it was the way they were blowing out teams on such a regular basis that caught everybody's attention.
And Ibaka kicks to Durant. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Well, those could be an important 2 points, too, guys, in a close game like this one.
There's the dish to Bass. Takes the 13-footer. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Perkins got his 3rd rebound on the night. And for the Thunder, they were blowing out teams on a regular basis, as you said, Clark, and ended plus 9.2 as the scoring differential in their games. Steve, easily the highest mark in the NBA.
Well, just think about that for a second, Kevin. I mean, that means your average game is almost a double-digit win. And not just wins, we're talking about all games. So that's the result of having an explosive offense depth and a tough defense. This was really a complete team, unfortunately derailed by the Westbrook injury.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Chris Humphries has checked in for Olynyk. Wallace comes in for Brandon Bass. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Courtney Lee. And Serge Ibaka, the bucket on the assist by Westbrook. Ibaka's got 4 this quarter.
Still trailing, but their offense is off life support here in the second quarter. It's got a pulse.
Yeah, they're making some shots now, but finally starting to make up some ground.
And it's Rondo penetrating and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Before his injury last season, it was quite clear that while the rest of the Celtics bunch could still hold their own, this would no doubt be Rondo's team moving forward.
Nick Collison's checked in for Oklahoma City. Jeremy Lamb comes in for Serge Ibaka. And for Rondo and the Celtics, had actually explored trading him in the past. You always hear the rumors he butted heads with Doc Rivers, and they wondered if he was too individualistic. But now they hand him the keys.
Well, he's a tremendous player, Rondo, and a guy who can take over a game. And there have been times when he's been a little moody. We've seen him bump officials. He's gotten suspended. He's gotten into little tiffs with teammates. But I kind of like that feistiness, too, as long as it's channeled in the right way.
Thunder trailing by 5. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Here's Westbrook. The 18-footer is right on the mark. Westbrook's got 15 points.
Well, he's been a real positive factor for them today, although, as a team, they've had a lot of negatives mixed in there as well.
Green, defended by Durant from 6 feet. Here's Humphries, and it's blocked by Collison. Durant for 3. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And a tight game here as we end the first half.
Now, presented by Sprint. From the 2K Sports Studios, they're at the break.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game. He has been everywhere.
He went off in the first 2 quarters, guys, as he's capable of doing. We might see some changes here in the defensive approach they use on him in the second half.
Yeah, they've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him like he has been.
A good look from Bradley. They get it back. Green, the pass to Bass. Rondo